Hello and welcome to the E-News at 10 on Nta News24. We're live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. The headlines. Vice President asks 6th regular course cadets on professionalism. House of Representatives engages head of Civil Service of the Federation to address bottlenecks in recruitment processes at federal universities. And Federal Road Safety Corps launches investigation into viral video of physical altercation between its officers and a passenger. The Nigeria Police Academy in Wudil, Kano, witnessed a momentous occasion as the 6th regular course cadets marked their passing out parade in a grand ceremony. Vice President Kashim Shettima encouraged them to uphold professionalism and integrity, emphasizing their role in reshaping the future of policing in the country. Elizabeth Yila Lamido reports.
A dinner was held to honor the graduating cadets of the Nigeria Police Academy Wudil ahead of their passing out ceremony, a celebration of the cadets' achievements. Inspector General of Police Kayode Ekbe-Tokun addressed the cadets, urging them to maintain integrity and emphasized the importance of their role in strengthening the security and stability of the nation. At the parade ground, the cadets impressed the audience with a demonstration of their training, performing a simulated rescue operation and combat scenario. This display showcased their tactical skills and preparation for the challenges ahead. Vice President Kashim Shettima, accompanied by Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf, was in attendance. The Vice President inspected the cadets and was met with an outstanding parade. Among the 462 graduates of the 6th regular course, 7 were awarded first-class honors and over 100 received second-class upper degrees.
It's not an easy one at all, but alhamdulillah, we have conquered and today we are rejoicing.
Our seniors will ask us, when will you pass out? I want to tell them now that I'm already out. I've done my POP, glory to God.
I feel like the happiest man alive because it's been a very, very tough and rigorous journey.
As parents proudly watched their children, the cadets now prepare to begin a one-year attachment, transitioning into full service as officers of the Nigerian Police Force. In Kano, Elizabeth Yila Lamido, Nta News.
Governor Dikko Umaru Rada of Katsina State has urged prompt responses to distress calls while commending the commitment of the Nigerian Army to addressing security challenges. He stated this during a meeting with the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, at the Government House to discuss enhancing security measures and military operations in the state. Awal Hali reports.
Governor Dukarada commended the recent visit by top military officials, acknowledging the federal government's growing concern over Katsina State's security situation. In a meeting at the Government House, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, expressed optimism about tackling the challenges through collaborative efforts and appreciated Governor Rada's unwavering support.
I often say that the Nigerian Army is the people's army. The sense of having troops deployed in the state is to work in concert with the stakeholders and work in concert with the indigenous and inhabitants of Katsina State to achieve that desirable and lofty objectives that the people have set out for the army.
The Chief of Army Staff emphasized the need for intensified citizen sensitization to complement military operations and enhance community involvement in addressing security threats. The discussions also focused on strengthening joint security initiatives, ensuring farmer safety, and developing effective community response strategies to counter attacks. In Katsina, Awal Hallaru, Nta News.
The Federal Road Safety Corps has launched an investigation into a viral video showing a physical altercation between one of its officers and a passenger. In a statement by the Corps Public Education Officer Olusegun Ogungbemide, the FRC Corps Marshal Shehu Mohammed ordered the probe into the video, which was said to have one of its FRC officials involved in a physical altercation with a passenger over the steering wheel in the cause of impounding the vehicle of an apprehended traffic offender. He expressed disappointment and concern over the incident, assuring that the Corps would take the allegation seriously and ensure that rules of engagement were upheld. Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, has advised graduating students of the Legislative Mentorship Initiative to embrace the responsibilities and challenges that lie ahead as leaders with the right vision and values to catalyze transformational change in the country. This was during the graduation ceremony of third cohort's fellows of the LMI mentorship at the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies. National Assembly correspondent Amina Saidu reports.
The Legislative Mentorship is a brainchild of the former Speaker Gbajabiamila, with the aim of empowering and preparing young leaders with practical experience in governance, politics, and decision-making process. The Chief of Staff to the President said LMI equips participants with needed skills and capacity to transform challenges into opportunities.
Nigeria, like all nations across the world, has faced its share of challenges, adversity, mistakes, and setbacks. Yet each time we have emerged stronger as a people and as one nation under God. And why? Because a new generation, people like you, are learning from the past, taking these lessons to heart, and finding ways to make things better. You carry with you the wisdom of those who came before you, and now you carry within you the prospects of shaping the future of those that will come after you.
This is the kind of investment we have to do. This is the kind of shares we have to really put our money into. We need to take care of the younger ones. We shall be digging our grave if we abandon the younger ones to all these vices, all these kidnappings, all this banditry. They will not go into all these vices if they are well, engaged, if they are well tutored, if they are well schooled, if they are well trained. And this is what this LMI is all about.
Graduating students who were full of hopes expressed their readiness to contribute meaningfully in the legislative and democratic process. Amina Saidu, Nta News.
President Bola Tinubu has received the memo from his Special Advisor on Media and Publicity and Special Presidential Envoy on Climate Action, Ajuri Ngalale, informing of his decision to proceed on an indefinite leave of absence for personal and health reasons. The President accepts his reasons for the leave, fully understands them, and sympathizes with the circumstances that have led to this seemingly difficult decision. While extending his heartfelt prayers and best wishes to Ngalale and his family during this challenging moment, the President hopes for a speedy recovery and full restoration to health. The President notes his tireless efforts and dedication to serving the nation and thanks him for the remarkable contributions he made in his various capacities, especially in advancing national discourse and leading efforts on climate action and other key initiatives. The President wishes him well in all his future endeavors. Key stakeholders in the business of disaster management say effective data collection during disasters, especially floods, is crucial for informed decision-making and response planning in the mitigation of such across the country. These were some of the issues agreed upon at a two-day workshop on disaster data collection organized by the National Emergency Management Agency in collaboration with the United Nations Development Programme. Ilyasu Yakubu reports.
Data collection is a crucial component of research management, especially when it involves disaster, where timely and accurate information can save lives and resources. This two-day workshop is part of the Sahelian Resilience Project, and it brought together key stakeholders, including government officials, disaster management experts, and representatives from various humanitarian organizations to enhance their capabilities for effective data collection in the face of disasters. NEMA's Director General Zubaida Umar, represented by the Director, Disaster Risk Reduction, Daniel Obert, said, "The magnitude of destruction, damage and losses resulting from disaster requires readily available data, exchange and acceptability, as well as accuracy and timely utilization in every phase of disaster risk management."
Use data to cut across the phases of disaster cycle. We have recovery, we have preparedness, mitigation, response, prevention, adaptation.
We want to have a centralized hub for disaster loss and damage data so that it can prompt, it can guide the kind of development.
Experts say effective management of disaster risks in the contemporary times is determinant on full deployment of both quantitative and qualitative data for disaster risk-informed decision, planning and program implementation. In Abuja, Ilyasu Yakubu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the National Emergency Management Agency has released fresh data on the flood devastation and casualties in states and local governments across the country. The statement issued on the 7th of September indicates that 784,631 persons are so far affected, with 378,253 displaced from their homes, while 89,797 houses have been destroyed, with 217 deaths recorded. It further revealed that 2,242 injuries were sustained and 122,293 hectares of farmlands washed away, with 166 local government areas affected. States affected still stands at 29. This is News at 10 on Nta News24. We'll take a short break. More reports in a moment. Stay with us.
What is fake news? A false information with no verifiable source presented as true story on media platforms with the sole intention of causing injuries, chaos and disaffection between persons, groups or countries. Fake news facilitates extremism. Fake news creates panic and distrust. Fake news breeds hatred. Fake news kills. Don't joke with it. Don't be in a rush. Verify your sources and facts. It is better late than fake. This message is brought to you by Nta News24.
Thanks for staying with us. The Niger State government has presented 50 million naira as relief to the families of the victims of the Galadiman Kogo mining pit collapse in Shiroro local government area of the state. Hussein Musa reports.
On the 3rd of June this year, Niger State recorded a mining pit collapse in Galadiman Kogo, a community in Shiroro local government area, which led to the death of 14 miners with several others critically injured. The presentation of checks to the family of the victims was part of the recommendations of the committee inaugurated by the state government to this effect shortly after the sad incident. 14 families of those who died in the incident were given 2.5 million naira each. Other victims were given varying amounts of money depending on the severity of injury sustained. Governor Muhammad Umar Bagu was represented at the engagement.
It's just a relief, not a compensation. They should use it for commercial activities so that they can help themselves in the future and their children.
So we look at it, and that is why we try to bring the next of kin, or at least 3 people from the family, to come and sign, to come and ensure that the money gets to their family so that they can start a new life.
We appreciate governments for their gesture and hope they will continue to assist victims of any mishap.
Other recipients of the financial relief by the state government appreciated the initiative and assured to make judicious use of the money. In Mina, Hussein Musa, Nta News.
There is need to concentrate more on the protection of Nigeria's history through proper documentation, as civic education is key to mobilizing citizens towards the national aspiration of a united country. This was part of submissions at a book presentation titled Against All Odds, My Testimony by Nyakno Oso, Editor-in-Chief of the Biographical Legacy and Research Foundation, a first online biographical information database on who is who in Nigeria. Olusheye Adeagbo has details.
Nyakno Oso, the man who initiated and operates the first presidential library in Africa, the only presidential library in Nigeria's 63 years history, says for over 5 decades he has been committed to preserving Nigeria's history through libraries, media researches, documentaries, and biographies. At this lecture titled Breaking Barriers, Bibliotherapeutic Impact of Biographical Legacy on National Reading Culture, Mental Health, and National Development, scholars including former President Olusegun Obasanjo appreciate the efforts of these septuagenarians in preserving resources on Nigeria's history.
I would say to everybody who wants to have a record keeper of a world standard to try and make use of. Yeah, no.
In the 60s and the 70s, we have records because government producing records, keep sending it to the National Library to protect and preserve. But presently, currently, nobody is thinking about it.
He pursued his dream to be Africa's best librarian, and I think he sees. He's paid his dues. He's entitled to live a full life.
I'm 70. I have decided that henceforth I'm going to train, I'm going to open up my space for seminars, for talks, on information management and knowledge management for young Nigerians, so that we begin to grow, as a nation that can look into the future.
Despite his age, he says he is on course to sustain the humanitarian job. In Abuja, Olusheye Adeagbo, Nta News.
The House of Representatives is to engage the head of the Civil Service of the Federation to address the bottlenecks in the recruitment processes at federal universities. This was the resolve of the House Committee on University Education during the last lap of oversight visits to federal universities in the Southwest Zone. National Assembly correspondent Mohammed Rabiu Ali tells us more.
The interface between the committee and management of the Obafemi Awolowo University provides a lead way to correct some anomalies based on the submission by the university authority.
And as an institution, we always want to ensure that we keep to that standard. Now, some of the things that are happening now is even that when people come on board, they come, you train them, they go off.
I have started talking to the minister, looking towards a robust interface between our universities, research institutions, and the captains of industry. How do we patent our research findings in such a way that there will be a win-win solution?
At the University of Ibadan, the committee scrutinized the documents submitted by the management on budget performance 2020 to date.
Number of other issues that you have raised concerning our
IGR, which involves many of our label fees. We will address it.
Infractions on nominal roll, student enrollment, and internally generated revenue were raised during an interaction with the University of Lagos. Documents were subjected for further forensic examination.
We do not take anybody without federal character being here. So at each time that we employ, federal character is here, and they look at the numbers of the people that come in, and that they fit the expertise, and that we had a fair chance for anybody to respond and come in. We always make sure we do that.
Committee members are expected to round off their visitation with federal universities in the Northwest Zone. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
This is the news at 10 on Nta News 24. Here's a recap of our top stories. Vice President tasks 6 regular course cadets on professionalism. House of Representatives engages head of Civil Service of the Federation to address bottlenecks in recruitment processes at federal universities. Federal Road Safety Corps launches investigation into viral video of physical altercation between its officer and a passenger. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has visited Katsina State to condole with the Yaradua family on the passing of Fatima Dada Yaradua, mother of late President Umaru Yaradua. He was received by Katsina State Governor Diko Rada, accompanied by Deputy Governor Farouk Lawal and other top government functionaries. Awal Haliru reports.
The former president was received by Katsina State Governor Diko Rada, accompanied by Deputy Governor Farouk Lawal and other top government officials. At the Yaradua quarters, Senator Abdulaziz Yaradua welcomed the delegation. Former President Jonathan shared fond memories of Hajia Dadi Yaradua, calling her a mother of all, due to her selfless and nurturing nature, which extended beyond her immediate family to touch the lives of many nationwide.
The mother that we've lost, God, Allah has blessed her. To live that number of years showed that Allah has accepted her and that she was a good woman. She was a blessed woman, and she brought children that have contributed significantly.
Former President Jonathan expressed his deepest sympathies to the family, praying that God grant the deceased eternal rest and comfort those she left behind. In a related development, the Nigerian Television Authority also condoled the Yaradua family. The General Manager of NTA Katsina, Umar Bakari, delivered the condolence letter on behalf of the Director General of NTA, Salihu Abdulhamid Dambos. In Katsina, Awal Haliru, NTA News.
On the sports scene, Nigeria's Falconets have qualified for the round of 16 at the 2024 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup after a comfortable 4-0 win against Venezuela in their final Group D game on Saturday. Goals from Amina Bello, Chiamaka Ujuku, Flourish Celestine and Joy Igbokwe sealed the team's passage into the next round. All right, we'll now join our outside broadcasting crew for a live telecast. Please stay tuned.